Oh, wait, what? Hi, folks. Elaine Marolakos, Edelson. I forgot to turn my phone off, and somebody was talking to me, and I was like, what is that? It's an ad. Okay, here we are. Welcome, AstrologyMojo. Want to help you get your mojo back. Now I can see you. Please show me. Please tell me that you're here. How are you today? Today we're going to be talking about Jupiter and Venus. There's a little tango happening in the sky. And I think it's going to be exciting for everyone to realize that it's not the planets making it happen to you, but you have an energy right now that's excited to do something. You want to argue, you want to expand on something, you want to make something happen. Well, now it can. It can in every moment. You're the one with the power. So, but when I see in the sky, let me just show you the chart. Okay, I have to presente. Let me share my screen. La, la. Okay, there we go. This is what we're looking at. Isn't that fun and exciting? Yes. So what we have here, we have Venus is making a trine to Jupiter, making a trine to the moon, making a trine, and they are all in earth signs. When three heavenly bodies, mainly sun, moon, and planets, not anything else, is in the same element. Typically, it can be moving into an element, but these are all in the earth signs. We have Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. And because and within, they make 120 degrees, makes a triangle. It's called a grand trine. Now, because the moon is a very fast moving body around the earth, what happens is there are blips of alignments that happen in you, not because the planets are doing it to you, but because you have come to an awareness, because you have come to a juncture. And that can describe a day off. It could be as simple as that. Oh, I've been working so hard. I have a day off. Yay. I get to sleep in for 20 more minutes or an hour or take a nap. It can be that. Okay. But it can also be that there's a part of you that wants to work on something. Capricorn moon is an energy that reflects your desire to make something happen, to make it happen. We can make it happen. We can make it happen. Yeah. Okay. Taurus, Jupiter and Taurus. Now, even though it's retrograde, it's that I envision a bigger future, a bigger picture, a different color living room, a hairdo because we're trying Venus. Yeah, it can be that. It can be what you value begins to expand because you're willing to work hard or a little bit more for the thing to happen. And with Venus in Virgo, it is with precision. It is with intent. It is with purpose. It is with a larger community in mind. It is with financial goals and aims. So Venus guides Taurus. Isn't that fun? So whatever you're expanding on right now is either going to, if you're not conscious of it, it's going to cost you money. Oh, they're having a sale. Even though I can't afford it, I'll put it on a payment plan. That's okay. As long as you value how it makes you feel or the usefulness of it. When I definitely see Jupiter and Taurus retrograde, we're looking at payment plans for whatever, a new car, a pre-owned car, that thrift store buy. I bought this at a thrift store. I am so happy with this blouse. It doesn't matter to me that it was pre-owned. I love it. It makes me feel great. So when you look at the things right now that are helping you feel really good. Now, when does this happen? Actually, it is, okay. It's a whole day. You're saying, oh, just a day? No, there's always blessings in every moment. Just name your gratitudes, be appreciative, Find satisfaction in the little things, and you are creating a wave of gratitude and expansion. But this particular one caught my attention because October 20th and 21st, we could start on the eve of the 19th. That is today if you're watching live. If you're watching this in a replay, just take with you the idea of how to produce a momentum based on 3 basic qualities. And that is what you value, how to organize it, and then put it into practice. What you value, how to organize it, and to put it into practice. But the overarching theme of this whole thing is it has to help you to feel expansive. If it gives you hope, and I'm not talking about like a quick high. I'm not talking about, oh, I've been dreaming of that sub with potato chips and a, orange soda. That's a quick high. That's a sugar rush. I'm not talking about sugar rushes. That can look like this too in astrology. I'm talking about something that creates a momentum. Oh, now that's when we bring Mars into play. Mars in Scorpio is opposing Jupiter. And for the next, and I'll tell you, hang on one second. Let's just go a little slower. Okay, by the 21st, we're out of the trine, but we're still opposing Jupiter. 21, let's go a little faster. Isn't that funny? Amazing. I can move through time with this program. I am moving through time right now. And all my friends and clients in different parts of the world, I'll say, how's the future? Especially when they live in Australia, New Zealand, and parts of England and Poland. Okay, look at that. Oh my gosh, it doesn't stop. 25th. Oh, what? We have a whole week going here with Mars and Jupiter doing this tango. A week plus. When does it stop? Let's just say by the end of the month, you see these oppositions. I can make you dizzy, I know, but I geek out over stuff like this. Look at this, and it keeps going. And we're into November. And then suddenly, when does it end? Let me tell you, never. Because this momentum continues all the way for a while. Scorpio and Taurus, opposite signs, opposite constellations, and we're still, and there it is. So by November 8th, let me just come back to now. And by November 8th, we are, whoopsie, I'll get to the trine. There we go. So by November 8th, so what are we? We have a couple of weeks to access the energy of Mars in Scorpio opposing Jupiter in Taurus. And is it an energy that is external? Well, everything's external when you're looking outside yourself. Okay? It's that simple. Come say hello to me. We're talking about the energies that you can harness right now to really get faster results. You want faster results on something? You have to put in a little bit of effort, more effort, but precise, intentional effort, conscious effort. The thing that helps you to feel satisfied, that helps you to feel beautiful, that helps you to feel whole, that helps you to feel expansive. And I'm not talking about quick fixes. All right. So, but the motivation, when we look at our motivation, it can be, oh, I've been talking about cleaning out the garage for whatever, because I want to make room for the new car, the pre-owned car. Right. So you're motivated to get something done because there's the dopamine rush of something coming. The dopamine rush is something coming, but dopamine rushes can be a little bit highs and lows. What you want is to activate your serotonin. And a serotonin is made in the brain, pineal gland. And the more you meditate and bring air and energy up through your spine, from your perineum into your brain, and you start to feel that swirl of consciousness, that all the planets are in you. You are the planet. It's a you planet today. My friend, hey, Ashley's here. So keep in mind that whatever starts to annoy you or debilitate you is not serving. So you have to come at it with a different mindset, with a different approach. An example, I know someone who's been meditating for 50 years, has reached a ceiling, has had some health issues. And so I just very calmly suggested that if this person were open to a physical healing, an energetic healing, like a laying on of hands, that I could provide that. And yes, okay, great, they did, and they felt a little better. They felt calmer. They felt a little happier. But their first response was, "Well, it wasn't like a miracle." Okay, you see what I'm saying? It's like the tiniest little adjustments in calculation. When I look at Venus in Virgo, it's, well, I put the effort in and where is it? Didn't happen. Okay, so now we want to expand our thinking because Mars, which represents our momentum, Venus is beauty, health, well being, aesthetics, finances, protection, defense, and Mars is also defense. And so if you have an old way of being and you're not open to a new way, you're going to be really stuck and go, "No, I tried that once 5 years ago, it didn't work." Okay, maybe it didn't work. Maybe it wasn't for you, but are you the same person you were 5 years ago? If the answer is yes, then you might want to change the channel because this is not going to help you if you're not open to it. So with this other person, I then suggested that they be open to a different way of meditating. And they were, and they gave it a chance. And then there was music involved in the meditation. And I checked in the next day. And what they said to me was, "Oh my gosh, that music was so, I can't even describe it. It just supported me so much. And I don't meditate with music." I was like, "Oh, something new." Okay. So this person dealt with their opposition, fixed in a certain way, going to go in that direction, but yet the results aren't coming. So if you're looking at, but then acquiesced and got rid of the resistance. When I look at Jupiter in Taurus retrograde, we are letting go of resistance. Now we can apply that globally and say there is resistance in Palestine, in political systems, in the Ukraine. There's resistance everywhere you look. But if all the mothers in the world joined hands and stood in front of the guns, if the motivation were not self-serving or self-gratifying, yet we found the harmony between expansion, value, and profound transformation, we would access this grand trine, which is in us, our ability to transform something. How? With precision, intentional, conscious actions and purpose, with trusting and believing that this is of value, true value to you. A thing that is of value to you is something that you would proclaim, regardless of what anybody else says. I know from in the medical world, having approached doctors and saying, "Well, I would not take that medicine, but there is something, in nature that affords the kind of this is synthesized from this. So I will take that." And they don't understand. They're like, "All right, well, whatever you want to do, but it might be too late. It might be ill-advised to eat garlic instead of getting an antibiotic shot." It's like, well, garlic is an antibiotic. And I eat it every day, raw. Yeah. Some Italians I know don't even eat raw garlic, but I do. Not like a big clove, but especially the green sprouts, because that's the most nutrients right there. And then broccoli sprouts. Instead of the broccoli itself, you get 60% more nutrients from the sprouts than you do from the broccoli. But I digress. So who's here? Come say hello to me. We're talking about how you can harness this energy and produce a completely different outcome for a faster result. What is the result you would like to have right now? What do you want to be doing with your life and your energy? Spinning around the same block, spinning your wheels, going around the same thing over and over and over again. It does take a shift in awareness. It does take a little bit different momentum. It's like if you have a paddle board and you love the water and you're out on the ocean and it's very still. My husband and I love to watch surfing. I think the show's on Netflix, or was it Prime? But anyway, anything that deals with surfing, we watch. We don't surf. I, I specifically will not be surfing, but what you see is their tenacity, and then sometimes they're looking for like that wave, but the sea is suddenly calm, and there's nothing you can do. You're on a clock, things are ticking, and you wanting to catch that wave. What I'm saying to you right now is, like, if you're ready to move forward and have like a supportive, not a push, but a gentle flow toward the thing that you love, you can learn more. You can learn more without resistance right now. And in doing so, you alter your brain chemistry. And that's why I highly recommend that you do one new thing a day, at least one new thing a day. And it can be simple. If you're used to sitting on the same side of the table for dinner, switch it up. I mean, one new thing a day gives you a different perspective. When I give any kind of workshops in person, especially, I'm doing a workshop on Saturday, by the way. I'll let you know about that in a second. But when I give workshops in person, or I give talks, and it's a lengthy time, it's more than an hour or two, and people get up because they get a break. When they come back, I ask them to sit in different places. They get a different perspective. They have a different energy, it's a different vibe, and it's so subtle, but it makes a huge difference. It's called neuroplasticity. Make sense? So and Saturday, let me find that link for you. Oh, I put it in the description box. To join me Saturday, October 21st, it'll be 10 a.m. Pacific time. I am hosting a free workshop, and this is going to be all about Astrology Pro Secrets, to show you how it is possible to not just understand yourself better through astrology, but some of the little secrets that I have embraced over the years that have made this my world, my business, and how you can make it yours, literally part-time, full-time, or just for yourself, your friends, your family, and your clients. So join me Saturday, October 21st at 10 a.m. Pacific, and the link is in the description. Okay, so, Ashley has a comment. Hi, good afternoon. I'm a Taurus and Scorpio rising, so a lot of shifting, and it's crazy. Okay, yes, please. And join the group on Saturday. How many things I need to surrender and let go of? When one door closes, many open. Yes, trying to flow if I could stop resisting. And the thing is, when we look at this, here's a little, Ashley, and for anyone else who's listening, whether it's live or in a replay, when you have the momentum towards something and you feel the resistance, there's two kinds of resistance. One is you're intuitively in tune and you know that direction, that thing, that path, that food, that person, that whatever engagement is not for you. That's not resistance, although sometimes it is perceived as such. But it's just like, oh, yeah, they're lovely people. I just don't feel like joining that group. It's not for me. Then you know. Resistance is when you have all these objections and reasons. I can't do that because I don't have enough training, or no, I tried it once, it didn't work. And then you start listing all the negatives that went with it, or so-and-so was there and I thought it was great. And then it became this like big melodramatic thing, or I can't afford it. That's a big one. Yeah, I can't afford it. Okay, but what can you afford? Not just monetarily, but what can you afford in your heart? If you really believe in something and you trust that you are creating physical matter with your vibration, because you are, and you are manifesting every moment, then the resistance is merely the thought of, I have to let go of what's familiar and I don't know what's coming and I don't trust it. That's the point that we all resist. And when I see Mars in Scorpio opposing Jupiter in Taurus, that's a big seesaw. That's a big, I really want to do it. I have a client who signs up for everything. And I said to her last year, I think it was, and you know who you are. And I said to her last year, just stop buying stuff. What are you searching for? And she told me, and I said, okay, so finish up what you have and get to know yourself. Get to know the moments you have the urge to do something because it's a distraction instead of looking in the mirror. Oh, wow. Yes. So that spoke to her and she followed through. And now she came to a new place of understanding. It's not often that people who are in business, and if you're in business, you're marketing because you need clients to maintain. This is my livelihood. This is what I do. But I will tell people, no, you're not buying another reading from me until you do what we just talked about, right? Or in the case with my one client and how she was taking training courses, and I was like, wait, take a breath, be present. Find where you have as the collective Abraham would say, the path of least resistance. And sometimes what that looks like is, I have a project to do. I work 9 to 5. I got this project to do. Excuse me. And I'm just crazy. I'm crazy in my head because I got all this stuff. And then after work, I have to go food shopping. And then I have to cook. And then, my cousin called and she's not feeling well and I should call her back. It's like when you are reacting, because Mars represents the part of you that reacts or responds. Which one would you rather have? Which one would you rather be? Mars represents your momentum. Your momentum is predicated upon your belief system. If you believe that you are not safe walking at night without a flashlight, and around here we don't have street lights, so you have to walk with a flashlight or your phone, or else you're tripping over rocks and people's mailboxes. But if you're in a big city and you're like, yeah, I'm not safe, then your vibration is going to create and emit a frequency that brings to you things to validate you. And then you say, see, I told you. Well, yes, because that's how you feel. But if you truly have an intuitive sense, you're walking, you're feeling beautiful, you're feeling connected, you're feeling aligned, and something speaks to you, you feel something coming. That's different than resistance. That is an intuitive awareness. All right. Does that make sense? I want you to understand the distinction, because a lot of people say, no, I don't want to. Our kid, when they were little, I'd say, let's watch a new movie, little cartoon, and I watched all of them ahead of time. Any TV show, any film, any movie. And if I didn't feel it was appropriate, didn't last in our house. And so our kid would watch and love it and want to watch it again. You know how that is, right? You watch it 50 times. And then I'd say, okay, let's watch something new. No, I want to watch something I know. Okay. Well, the only way to get to know something, my child, who is a Taurus, Aquarius rising, Cancer moon, the only way to get to know something is to do something new. And then you see if you like it. Like we taste something new at mealtime, one new thing a day. We taste one thing. We see if we like it. And then if we don't like it that way, we try it again next week with different flavors. We just keep testing and trying and doing new things to see if they work for us. So there's a little part of you. Hey, Teresa's here. Hey, Gamble's here. There's a little part of us all that says, yeah, I don't know. I will spend, my husband and I, as we put together this workshop that we're doing on Saturday, he discovered that statistics show now that people spend an average of 2.5 hours on their telephone on either combination of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. 2.5 hours. And it's entertaining and it's educational. I find things that are really educational or things I just need to laugh and I'll laugh. But yeah, 20 minutes, and then I'll post something because that's for business related, or it's just to help educate or enlighten or entertain other people. And that's my motto. I'm here to empower, enlighten, educate, and entertain. And so, but beyond that, it's a distraction. Now, if you're comfortable in the distractions, there's no judgment on any of this. What you want to look at is, why does something keep coming back around? Everything's cyclical. So if I am looking at Mars in Scorpio and I am just annoyed because that person, those people, that thing, that situation, my body, the house, the whatever, the weather, I'm waiting for autumn. Okay. That's my rant. Our temperature goes to 89 degrees during the day, and then at night it's 40. I want to stay in that zone where it's chilly and I can anyway, but I'm not going to resist. So I put the air on for an hour. That's it. And then everything, I calm down, I feel better. It's like, why would I get so bottled up? Why would I choose to be frustrated and have my momentum oppose something? And this is so true, and it's not just scientifically, psychologically proven, but when someone's having a panic attack or they're really upset, just to say to that person, relax, can set off a time bomb. They're not vibing relax. They're vibing trauma. They're vibing anxiety. They're vibing cortisol dumps. They're vibing lack of nutrients. They're not vibing, oh, why didn't I think of that? Yeah, okay. Ooh, what's the sarcastic combination? I would say, well, there's a lot of Sagittarius combos that are sarcastic, but Mars and Scorpio, yeah, that one. Oh, and this person I said that I suggested doing energy work on, and I was doing some laying on of hands healing, and I suggested that they just sit with it, that the miracles are not going to happen overnight, because that's their proof that, see, told you, wouldn't work. And that's their resistance. So the next day I checked in, right, as I said earlier, and this person said, yeah, I actually don't feel sarcastic and negative today. And I was like, wow, that is huge. Do you see? We are energy before we are matter. So when you create the vibe that says, I trust this or I don't trust that, you're creating a frequency that spirals in many ways and brings to you the validation of either or both. We're a mixed bag, right? We do the same. Hey, Kate's here too. So, all right, let's just recap. Or if you joined us late, or if you're watching this in a replay and you just need a reminder. When I look at this grand trine, that technically is happening between Jupiter in Taurus in retrograde in the constellation Taurus to Venus in Virgo. Venus in Virgo is precise on the high end, on the higher esoteric frequency, on the more compassionate frequency. It's all right, we have some people here who need some help. Let's organize a team. Okay, on the low end, it's look at these people. They don't know what the hell they're doing. That's the low end of Venus and Virgo. So if you find yourself judging a system, politics, medical, artistic, whatever, you walk by a store and go, who would want that art? That's horrible. That's ugly. Okay, somebody wants it. You may not, but why do you need to judge it? The high end is what we're looking for, folks. Venus in Virgo, organizing that part of you that says, I have an idea. I want to rearrange the furniture, but first, I'm going to look at the bigger picture. That would be Jupiter and Taurus. Do I really love the way it feels? If I put the chair in front of the front door, I'm going to trip over it. That's not really aesthetically pleasing. In fact, it's dangerous. So I'm going to move that ottoman, or I'm going to put that throw on top of the bed, or that gives me an idea. I'm going to get out my sewing machine and I'm going to make something. And it's so like one thing leads to the next that helps you feel satisfied and productive and happy. And when you put out that happy vibe, you are not just helping yourself to feel better. You are putting love into the world, Venus. And then we trine the moon. The moon is a moody character. right? So in Capricorn, it's industrious. So it's not the moon that's making you do anything, or Venus, or actually, when we do have lunar events, you feel that intensely, because without the moon, we would literally drown in tsunamis before we drowned. Before we, who was it? Neil deGrasse Tyson said, if the moon were to suddenly leave us, the Earth would spin instantly 800 miles to the east. We would all be hurled, right? So the sun and the moon, there's a direct relationship to the Earth and the people on it. The moon are tides, the flow of things. And so with the moon in Capricorn, the flow is toward money-making ideas, ventures, perfecting something. Now, let's get rid of this idea of perfection. I say that because it's a Capricorn word and also a Gemini word, but it is, it's an anybody word. Forget the sign. It's an anybody word who thinks, oh, I almost had it. It was almost perfect. Your life is a kaleidoscope. Gaze at the center of any kaleidoscope on YouTube, and you'll be put into, within 3 minutes, you can be put into a semi-hypnotic trance. And that's a fact. And while you're gazing and you're listening to beautiful music that goes with it, what you want to move your energy and your momentum toward next, and we have a little positive angle to the moon, between Mars and the moon, and that is, oh, I can alter the way I feel. I can alter the way I feel. Do I want to? Resistance. Okay. I would like to go from negative to neutral to positive. Steps, tiny, tiny calibrations. And so tomorrow, the 20th of October and the 21st, as we vibe this together, we are putting love into the world for all the people who are experiencing less than that, in whatever capacity. But you personally, you have every right to have a goal that has nothing to do with anyone outside your four walls. And it can be, I want to paint the kitchen. I want to bake something I've never had before. I want to try something new. I want to do something. I want to feel good. I want to go get a massage. I am going to get my hair cut, or I'm going to look at that garden. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, you're looking at that garden saying, what are we planting? Everywhere else, mostly we're harvesting. And so that harvest can take you to the next place of, now what do I do with what I've done? Because it's all a cycle, right? So the kaleidoscope, you're gazing at the center, everything is moving around you. That's every single feeling you could ever feel in any moment at any given time. It's your choice. But if you are centered, then you align body, mind, spirit. Then you say, I have a different choice in the matter. Yeah, I don't like that there's war or that there's mean people. They're coming from a place of wound and trauma. So what I'm going to do is my best to be whole, come from my heart, and remember that my brain is creating serotonin. So when my brain and my heart come together, I create a cycle and a wave, an emotion. And my momentum is then looking at what's opposite me, that is accusing me of something, that is ignoring me, has just a different belief than I do. And I say, okay, is it okay if I let them be who they are? Now, if it's harming you or your family, it's okay that they can be who they are, but you set a boundary. That's Capricorn moon. Is it okay that they bring home their trauma every single day? And it's like, and they're complaining and they're moaning and they're bitching and whining. And it's like, validate instead of ingesting who they are. So you can validate and say, you look really upset today. And this happened and that happened and this happened and that happened. And it's like, wow, that's a lot. So I'm going to make some dinner, squirrel, help to divert. I'm going to make some dinners or something special you would like tonight. Oh, right there. That's a pattern interrupt. So it's not your job to make everybody feel great, though. Please understand this. It can be very draining if you do that on a constant basis. But if there's someone that you love and care about and they're going through something, you can validate them. Stop trying to make them feel better. Just distract to something neutral. Neutral to positive is where we're going and where we're going to take others. That is what this tells me. And that's why I'm so excited about this grand trine between precision, a plan, consciousness, expansion, what you value, Taurus, Jupiter, what you is expansion, what you value. Also philosophy, religion, creativity, design, travel. So you may value learning a new language. You may value planning a trip. You may value meditating differently and going to new spiritual heights where you might actually have this. I'm not a religious person. I was raised by one of the oldest religions in the world, but I am not a religious person, but I am religious about my spirituality. So when I'm feeling low, I go, okay, what does my body need? That would be Taurus. That would be Capricorn. What does my body need? I need nutrients. I need food. I need hydration. I need vitamins, whatever. I need to lie down and rest. I need to stop doing. And then Virgo is, I love my blanket. Or my pillow, and it's putting love, revitalizing the love in here to put it out into the world. Yes. Without judgment. Virgo can judge big time. Jupiter, Sagittarius can judge big time. Capricorn is like the judge, literally. Capricorn represents authority. Police officers, judges, professors, parents, grandparents. So you want to move away from judgment and move into evaluation. Does that work for me? Does what they're saying speak to me? Am I finding harmony through that? That would be Venus. Am I finding a health benefit? Virgo. Does it support the community? Virgo. Does that, look at that painting. Oh, wait, go over here. Go over. Oh, it's in 5D. Oh my gosh. Have you ever seen those things where they hang in a museum and it looks like one thing, a bunch of pieces of metal, and then you walk around it and suddenly it makes a face and you're like, oh, I'm tripping out over this. I remember walking into the Holograph Museum on Canal Street in New York City when I was in my 20s. Yeah. Oh, wow. Almost 40 years ago. I don't know if it's still there. I would just walk in and walk by stuff and it would startle me because it would look like a painting. And then as I walked by, a face came out of it. And I was like, this is so freaking trippy. I love it. How do I put that in my house that I don't have yet? But so the design, what speaks to you, what the colors, what helps bring you to life. We are all here creating a reality that has nothing to do with anybody else, although we do bump into each other. We can support each other, but we don't ever want to challenge someone. Let's be someone's opportunity today, tomorrow, in as many moments as possible. And your opportunity right now is to be as present as possible. And let me check in. Teresa, I'm a Scorpio sun and a Taurus rising. And then we have, Ashley is a Taurus sun and a Scorpio rising. You two would have a lot in common. But you have different perspectives. Isn't that fascinating and interesting? Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. I don't know, when I saw this, when I was setting up the calendar, and I was like, Jupiter's going to be opposing Mars. Wait a minute, there's a grand trine. I'm so happy. Okay. Hold on just a moment. I have to find that. I'm going to put the link in here because there it is. And let me find you now. So please, if you're drawn to it, and you'll know intuitively if you are. If you're not, that's cool too. But I'm doing a free workshop this Saturday, October 21st at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Adjust for your time zones, please. And this is the registration link. And I just want to show you what is possible with astrology and also intuition so that you can envision for yourself a new momentum where you can actually move forward with a possible money-making opportunity, and or an enrichment, educational enrichment opportunity to look at life through a different lens, to help you understand yourself and others even better, and to bring you to that place of I I see something different now, neuroplasticity. And when you do that, you literally become younger. Memory improves. You start to feel more productive. You start to feel like something else is growing and changing, and you are transmutating, and it matters that what you do, the emphasis that you have on anything you're doing right now, is heightened by the fact that it just doesn't just give you joy, but you could paint something in a closet, or make a little film or a video, or bake something, or work in human resources, or work at a gallery, or it doesn't matter what you're doing. You could be a civil engineer, and you walk in one day and you're just like, hi. You are the sun coming up in an otherwise drab situation or routine situation. And okay, but if you're with other people, they're going to feel it. They'll either be drawn to you and say, what did you do? Did you have a facelift? Somebody asked me that once, and I was in my 30s. Did you have a facelift? And I was like, no, I did a meditation retreat for 3 days. But thanks. And then you could just be in your house or your apartment, your yurt, and you do nothing except focus on uh, combining the heart and mind, releasing the serotonin from your pineal gland, and that community of love emanates from you. It seeps through the walls, it goes outside, it touches plants, trees, people, pets, animals, insects. You have just affected the world in your little bitty tiny living space. Okay? Does that make sense, folks? All right. Thanks for being here. Thank you for putting love into the world. And remember, what's your motto? I am a mojo mystic. I love that I am love. What sign or planet says that? You, the you planet. All right, folks. I'll be here next week for an oracle reading. So please join my newsletter. If you go to astrologymojo.com, yes, you can sign up there. You might already be on it. If you register for the link, you'll automatically, for the Saturday's webinar, for Saturday's workshop, you'll be put on the newsletter. And then, that would be the 26th of October. We'll be doing the oracle reading, and we're going to focus on the lunar eclipse that happens on Saturday, the 28th, 5 degrees of Taurus. Exciting times, folks. All right, off I go. Have a beautiful day. And as always, I wish you peace. That's my living room. Join me next week in my living room. Bye, folks.